Well, good morning and welcome to another episode of Morning Java, brought to you as always by our friends, our very good friends, Civilization's friends at the Get-Go Cafe and Market right now, because the entire Giant Eagle family is literally, I'm saying this seriously, on the front line of this battle that we're all fighting in our own ways, huh?
Yeah, I mean, essential workers, like legitimately essential. We need them right now.
That's right, and Giant Eagle showed how much they value them this week by paying $10 million.
Good.
A collective $10 million bonus to their employees there. And they're hiring, by the way. The whole world is really on hold. All of sports is on hold. Now even the Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics. And when I say even the Olympics, I'm going to get my cynicism out of the way here first. This is taken from someone who's covered 5 of these games. The IOC is the most obstinate, aloof organization of any kind, not sports, of any kind on the planet. And boy, didn't they prove that over the past couple of weeks.
FIFA? I mean,
I'm sorry, man. I got IOC here and I've got FIFA here. I know more about the IOC since I covered the Olympics. I'm going to give it to the IOC. What were they waiting so long for?
I don't know what took, like, Japan.
In Japan!
In Japan! Today was like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then America's like, well, you know, if they're going to do it, I guess we'll do it. It's ridiculous. I mean, good for Canada for being the first to actually say, like, okay, no, we're not going to do this. And then Australia followed, and it looked like England was going to follow after them. And
well, in fairness, before that, understanding that the USOC is not as unified as other national fronts on the Olympic Committee fronts, you did have USA Swimming, which is a really big deal.
Yeah.
At an Olympics, and especially in the Michael Phelps era, where they were building these giant stadiums just to watch Phelps swim. Eventually, it got through to Thomas Bach and everybody involved at the IOC. You know what? This actually isn't going to work. We're not going to be able to fly people in from all over the world.
This global pandemic, maybe we shouldn't bring people from all across the globe together into a pretty big hot spot in general. For right now.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, it obviously.
Why did it take this?
It originated, of course, in the Wuhan province of China, and eventually, made its way through the Koreas and to Japan and everything else. And just to say, let's all go there. And by the way, while we're there, and people are dying and there's economic devastation, let's wave our flags. And
no, it wasn't the appropriate time. It wasn't a good logistics time, especially.
Well, the other thing I'll throw into this is that the Olympics were the most easy to postpone to another time.
Yeah. Those stadiums aren't going anywhere.
And 2021 was still wide open on the Olympic calendar. Like, this wasn't like where you have to worry about moving it to another season, or you have to even worry about losing revenue, because all of the money that NBC and all the other networks have paid is still going to be there on the table. You're just having it a year later. This was the one out of all of them where I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
I mean, I guess the saving grace was, it was in July. This is the first major event in July that's been,
this wasn't going to be it.
It wasn't going to happen.
This wasn't going to be it.
It just wasn't going to happen.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can catch you off guard here. Name all of the sports, like on the planet, that are actually still ongoing. And don't count Taylor representing the Wheeling Nailers in a video game, even though she mightily beat the Ottawa Senators, as everyone got to see.
I was going to go straight to the esports there. So there's Korean baseball.
There is Korean baseball.
They're playing in front of empty stadiums.
Empty stadiums, but there is Korean baseball. Which means, theoretically, Jung Ho Gung could be hitting home runs right now in front of nobody. We've seen that before. Thank you. I just went there. Sorry, Maz.
And the second one is, if there is a second one?
Chinese soccer.
Oh, how could I not know what's going on in Chinese soccer right now?
Has resumed. And also, and this actually did make a little bit of a wave on social, Australian rules football. That's not going to last. Now, all of these are because Australia's heading in the other direction. All of these have been played in front of no people. Mm-hmm. I think there's NASCAR or something. No?
I don't think so.
No. There's something going on in the United States. Wasn't MMA? Where's Hunter when you need him? Somebody was doing something stupid in the United States.
There's no contact in MMA. I'm sure that's a clean sport at the moment.
Nice. So you can't. To me, sports without people, without fans, as much as I want to see it from a selfish standpoint, like I want me and you to go back to covering games and everything, and they'd let us in.
Yeah.
Because we got work to do. I almost covered one of those in Columbus, with the Penguins and Blue Jackets before it got back.
Baltimore
that day.
had one of those a couple years ago.
Couple games at Camden Yards. How would you feel about it?
I mean, if it personally happened, the file that would have been, the next story, game story. So I sat in every single seat in an empty PNC Park. Here are the best views that I got. But it's weird. I think you need people here, and it's something I asked Derek Holland about, at the tail end of spring training.
Derek Holland is a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates for the uninitiated.
If we ever have a season, you'll get to know him.
He's a lefty.
I asked him, it's like, this is kind of a stupid question to ask because, people are getting sick, people are dying across the globe, but, from a purely competitive standpoint, what would it be like to play in front of an empty stadium?
What do you say?
You'd be like, it'd be weird. I've never done that before. I mean,
even in the minors, there's always somebody.
There's always somebody there. There's always somebody to impress.
In your high school games, there's always somebody, like your parents came or something.
And sports, I mean, it is entertainment. These are entertainers. You even if it's that much, you feed off of that a bit.
Let's go with that for a second. Let's say, since we're over here by PNC Park anyway, that it's, May, and the Pirates are playing a game, and Gerard Dyson's in center field. Great defensive player, not an exaggeration.
No.
And he just lays out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even talking about a home run. Like, a home run is a home run. I'm talking about laying out. One of those moments where the fans would be going nuts and they'd welcome him back to the dugout, that kind of ovation. And he does that. And the only sound you hear in the entire ballpark are coming from the Pirates dugout. Now, when I describe it like that, you know what I'm saying?
It would be interesting for us, I think. I don't know how much of that would come through in a home broadcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot you'd hear Brownie.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You'd hear him. People at the Australian Rules football game would hear Brownie in that moment. But I don't know. I'm reminded of Paul Maurice, Winnipeg's head coach, said recently that to him, sports won't be back until the fans are back. And his reasoning for that wasn't the cliched. He's one of the better quotes in the NHL, always has been. His reasoning was, none of us are going to be able to enjoy ourselves, including the participants, until we're all relaxed.
Yeah. And we're just not going to be for weeks or months.
And he said, and he applied it specifically to the Winnipeg Jets, until the Winnipeg Jets are once again the most important thing in Winnipeg, and they can't be. They won't be. When the arena is empty, when this stadium is empty, when that football stadium is empty, when PPG Paints Arena is empty, no one is going to feel right. And as a result, sports won't be right. They just won't. What time did you wake up today?
I woke up at 10 o'clock
Really?
this morning to my cat pawing me in the face. He was
Is that right?
Yeah. He's having a field day during this social
The cat
isolation.
is like, this is awesome. Can we have an apocalypse regularly? This cat, by the way, was the one that you abandoned while you were in Bradenton, right?
Yes. He was angry for about 5 seconds after I got home. He's like, no, I still like it. It's all right.
I did not wake up at 10 a.m. I've been sleeping, and I've fallen into some bad habits. I was talking to Phil Bork after one of our 11 on the Ice segments, and he was just basically laying it out there. He said, you know what, I'm doing some things I'm not comfortable with. I'm ordering takeout all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not eating right. I'm not sleeping right, meaning by that you're staying up at all hours because you're binge watching stuff. Because what else are you doing? I'll come clean here. My wife and I stayed up and watched a whole bunch of Better Call Sauls and then the new Homeland. And you look up at the clock and it's 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then you realize that your kids are still up. This problem you don't have to deal with yet.
No.
I don't have a solution for this. I'd be the worst person to give advice since I'm living the worst possible way at the moment.
I mean, I've gone a couple road trips, a couple early morning flights so far. And you get to the airport and it's, have a flight at 6:30.
You're not talking about now, obviously.
Not talking about now, but
yeah.
in the past, in the simpler times whenever we can travel for sports and all that good
all
stuff.
that.
And you get there and it's like, the bar opens at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
a beer and a whiskey.
Right? Yeah,
a beer and a
Whatever
burger
works.
sounds pretty good right about now.
But I'm really starting to, I wrote over the weekend about some of the mental challenges that people are going to have. And by that, I don't mean people who have, whatever, actual medical, clinically diagnosed issues. I mean, just everybody, okay? But I also think that part of our challenge here is that we do have to stay active. We have to stay vibrant. We have to stay engaged. And we do have to kind of go to bed at a regular hour and everything,
I wasn't good at that before.
No, I know. Sports writers have such terrible lives to begin with.
Yeah.
In that sense,
Yeah.
But I think we have to find a way to be better, all of us. And I know that's limited right now. Even when we set up shop here, my wife was setting up the camera and everything. A Pittsburgh police officer came driving by to see what we were doing. And because we didn't have a big crowd of people here, obviously it was just us and Maz, he kept going. But find a way, find a way. Get active, get out there, eat right.
Or at the very least, get a cat alarm clock.
Get a cat alarm clock.